Hi, thank you for joining us today. I'm here with Nelson behind the camera, and Izzy's over there. She's going to join us in just a minute. She's going to help us with part of the salad. Today we're going to make a Southwestern salad, and I call it that because it has all of these ingredients that you can easily find in the Southwest, like avocados and green pumpkin seeds, tomatoes, and corn. This time of year we're getting local sweet corn, which is really nice. We can actually start getting it earlier, and then there's a little bit later season that we can get. So we've been trying to take advantage of what we can get seasonally and what is freshest when we go to the market. And so I thought of this salad, which I have had on my blog for a while, but I haven't made in probably over a year. So I wanted to share it with you. And I'd be interested to know in the comments if there's any other salads that you've been making lately that would give us some ideas of what we could make too. So usually I make this salad with some roasted corn, but since the weather is so hot and I don't want to heat up the entire house by turning on the oven to 400 or 425, there's a couple things you could do. You could grill the corn if you enjoy doing that, or you could steam the corn. And that's what I'm going to do today because this sweet corn has been so extra delicious that you barely have to cook it, and it's sweet and, does not take much to make it taste really good. If you have frozen corn, you can also steam it or you can roast it. Probably the only way you could grill it is if you have a grill pan that has a pretty fine mesh in it, but you could use frozen corn, which is also pretty good for this recipe. Okay. So I just thought I'd show you cutting this off the cob in case you haven't done that before. I'm going to try to get the silks off of the corn. Last Wednesday, I remember my mother couldn't come to the show because of the tropical storm that knocked out the power and the cable and the internet and everything for a long, long time. I don't know if that was last week or the week before, but they were out of internet for a long time in Connecticut. So hopefully everyone watching today has recovered from that tropical storm. So what I did was I cut this in half to make it easy to stand up like this. A couple different ways you can do this, but this is probably the easiest. This way I can cut straight down, trying not to get too much of the cob, just trying to get the kernel part without wasting any of the corn. And these, you can actually make a stock with these corn cobs, which is really nice for a vegetable soup or a corn or a potato soup or something. I've been forgetting to do that, but it does make a nice vegetable stock. Even though corn is technically not a vegetable, it's a grain. But it's a very juicy grain. When I went to Ecuador to study abroad when I was just turned 21, actually the first week I got there I turned 21. When I was there, I realized that there is more than one variety of corn. There are hundreds of varieties of corn, and I saw dozens of them when I was down there. Some are blue, some are purple, some are red, some are yellow, some are white, some are speckled, different colors, some are short, some are long. I actually totally messed up on my recipe just now.
You were going to steam the corn, right?
I was going to steam the corn first.
You could saute it with butter, that'd be good.
I still might just steam it. Anyway, I was gonna steam the corn first on the cob, let it cool, and then I was gonna cut it off the cob. But like with everything in cooking, there is more than one way to do it. So, never fear. You can just keep going. I think that's just what Julia Child used to say. Just keep going. Nobody will ever know unless you tell them. Yeah, I got ahead of myself a little bit. So it will just steam a little quicker, maybe just a minute of steaming. Then we'll drain it. And I may season it a little bit with a little bit of chili pepper, if I can find it easily here. If you have a mild chili pepper or even something like an ancho chili powder, I'm trying to smell this without it going out my nose. This is a nice mild chili powder. I think this is a New Mexico chili powder, which I recommend for this type of thing. You could season the corn with that a little bit if you want, just to give it that little bit of a Southwestern flair. You could also use some interesting peppers if you have them growing in your garden, some interesting varieties of peppers like my friends Paige and Charlotte have been telling me about their peppers that they're growing. Hey Izzy, I think I'm going to need your help getting a strainer out, a colander, because this is about ready. So some of the things that we're going to put in the salad are some romaine lettuce. I washed the romaine lettuce. Well, let me first say romaine lettuce. We have a red bell pepper, avocado, cucumber, some baby tomatoes, some green pumpkin seeds that I'm going to toast, and then some ingredients for a cilantro lime dressing. Thanks, Izzy.
You're welcome.
Or why don't you hold this for me and we'll go strain this. Be right back. Hold that right over the stove a little more.
Interesting.
Yeah. Can I put it in there? Okay. Izzy, do you want to put just a little bit of this chili powder on there? Just a tad. And since we're putting the chili powder on, why don't we just put a dash of olive oil and put a little more, and then just give that a stir. Sort of seasoning the corn a little bit. If you were to put it plain in the salad, it would soak up the dressing flavors, so either way is fine, but I think this will be nice. Put a little salt, a little chili powder, and a little olive oil. And then so we don't overcook it, let's put it in here. Hold this for you. It's a little tricky because the bowl is small and the pan is big. Okay, very good. Very good. Okay, so we'll let that cool. Izzy, would you like to make some stripes with this? We'll take about half of the peel off of the cucumber. We'll just we only need about half the cucumber, but it's okay if you peel it all. So we'll kind of put a stripe, maybe every other, yeah, that's it. Because a lot of times with the cucumbers that you get from the store, the peel is very bitter. So if you just put a little of the peel, you'll get the color, but you won't get all that bitterness. If you're getting your cucumbers from the garden, you can probably go ahead and use the peel. They don't seem to be as bitter. I don't know why. Maybe a different variety, or maybe the ones that you get from the garden aren't grown as long. They're fresher. Okay. Gonna go ahead and slice that.
Yeah, so it's like that.
So Izzy's gonna help me slice the veggies, and how about while she does that, I will toast the pepitas. I'll turn this on, Izzy. You want to tell anybody what's new with you?
Nothing.
You got a haircut?
Oh yeah, I did get a haircut. But
That's probably going to be enough for our salad today. I'm going to stop there. Very nice. Goes in this bowl. So this month in our Cooking Together project, it's a subscription that all of you are welcome to look at and see if you want to try it. It is, we are doing summer Italian cooking. We've done French, we've done Asian, we've done Latin American. It has really been fun for us. It keeps us motivated so that we are not eating the same thing over and over, and we're using seasonal ingredients. So it's really been a blessing to have that to work on and to be in touch with all the people that are joining in. It has been really helpful to keep our spirits up and to keep us eating healthy. And so this month we're doing summer Italian cooking, and so far we've done a creamy polenta with a mushroom ragu, a mushroom sauce. That was so delicious. We love to make polenta every now and then. We kind of alternate making polenta and risotto. Can you see this, Nelson, or is it too far over? And anyway, we made that polenta without any dairy. We just made it creamy style. And gosh, that was so delicious. And then we also did a, what was the second one? Oh, an antipasto board, which was a lot of fun. A lot of times in the summer, when it gets to be August, we don't feel like cooking anymore. It is too hot. And so we were going to be going to swim at a friend's pool. They work a lot during the day and the early evening, and said, come over whenever you would like. So we've been taking advantage of that a couple times a week. And we thought we would bring over some appetizers or an early dinner to have over there under the trees, just to make it more special than coming home and eating like we always do. So we made basically like a board of stuff to bring over in little containers that we could take out there. And it was like having a picnic. And here we've got our avocado. And so I got the idea to do that for Cooking Together, just using ingredients that are easy to put together. And you can make, we don't need this one though. I'm just going to use that one. If you leave the pit in the one that you're not going to use, it'll stay fresher longer. So why don't you cut this one in half, sweetie? And then we can take the peel off. Yeah, that's great. Izzy's putting it down flat so that it will slice more safely. There you go. So yeah, we did the antipasto platter. That was all vegetarian. You could also put meats or cheeses on it, but I thought everybody knows that kind of antipasto platter already, but how about we make a vegetarian one? So we made a white bean dip and some roasted artichokes that were already roasted. And we put some fresh bread that we had made. What else did we put in there, Nelson? Just a bunch of veggies and, Oh, we put some red bell peppers to
Yeah.
use in the dip, some
Almonds.
Italian olives. And what was really
Eggplant.
interesting is, oh yeah, we grilled some eggplant and grilled some cauliflower. So we had some roasted veggies, which, makes it a little heartier than just having raw vegetables. And what was interesting, both times we made that, both times we made those boards, we thought that was going to be an appetizer, but by the time we were done eating it, we said, actually, that is enough for dinner. It was very satisfying, but light at the same time. And we ate dinner earlier than we usually do, which made us sleep better. So it was kind of an interesting experiment to do that.
Yeah, there's 50% off.
Oh yeah, and the subscription, we're doing a summer sale, which we've never done before, for the subscription that's 50% off through August 15th. So go ahead and check out the website. We'll put the link to it just in case you haven't seen it yet. And yeah, Izzy, what have you been in the mood to eat lately? I'm going to cut up this romaine lettuce, which I washed really, really well, and a couple changes of water in this bowl.
Pizza.
Pizza never goes out of season.
Yep. Bread.
Bread never goes out of style. 'Cause
Pasta.
you are almost, well, a quarter French, or maybe a little more than a quarter French, so that makes sense.
Butter.
You like bread and butter. But you've been eating your veggies too?
Yeah, I have been, but that's what I like to eat. Mango.
Mangoes have been so good lately. We got some from Wheatsville.
There was a 5 for $5 deal at Wheatsville.
For organic mangoes, right?
Yeah, and normally they're like $2.49 each.
So we got 10.
Yeah, well, my dad got more than you. He got.
We should have
He
gotten.
ate 2 a day.
Whoa! Did his skin turn orange?
No.
So I like to use that crunchy midrib of the romaine. I think it's so delicious to have the crunchiness in the salad. So Izzy, what do you notice about making a salad? Why do we put a mixture of ingredients instead of just lettuce? What adds?
Texture, right? Flavor.
So we have different textures, different flavors. Yeah. And then going along with that, we have different nutrients. When you have like a rainbow of ingredients. If I had a salad spinner, that would be a good thing to do with these greens because they are a bit watery. But
Well, speaking of pizza.
okay, so just about done with our lettuce.
And close the door.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, speaking of kitchen pantries, which we just had open, I just posted an article.
The recipe for this is on the Cook Love Heal website.
That is true. Just look up pizza in the search, and you can find Izzy and Nelson's recipe for pizza, homemade pizza.
It's very delicious.
What was I talking about just a second ago?
I don't know. Pantries.
Oh, yeah. So I don't know if you've been in the mood for organizing. A lot of people have been organizing their lives a little bit during COVID. I'm just going to slice these tomatoes in half. I thought it would be fun to put an article by my friend who's a professional organizer, Sarah Frisch, on my website. So we worked on that together in the past couple weeks and just posted it. So if you go to my website, it's the first article there. And it is all these tips about organizing your kitchen pantry. And the truth is, if your pantry is disorganized, you don't know what you have to work with, right? And you want to make sure that when you go into your kitchen, you can just start making stuff, and that you're stocked up, and that things are organized in a way that you can find them quickly. You don't have to search for things and get frustrated and not be able to find things and then find it later or realize things are getting stale. So anyway, having a system to where you can keep it organized is really important. And I worked on my pantry a couple years ago, and it's really stayed organized ever since I did that, because now I've got a system for it. So we kind of talk about that in the article. And so I hope that is helpful for you. She owns a company called Moxie Space. So if you'd rather have them come and organize it for you or coach you through it online, they can do that too. But maybe you've got the time and energy where you want to work on it yourself. I was able to organize my pantry without buying much of anything. I just bought a couple of metal bins that stack from the Container Store, and everything else I just happened to have. I had some baskets around the house that I wasn't using anymore. I had some plastic containers that closed that I could put things in that bugs could get into. And then I just bought some mason jars, which are really economical if you buy them at the grocery store. Different sizes. I got 2-quart size, 1-quart size, and I think that's it. I just got those 2 sizes. I was able to put grains and beans and things like dried coconut and nuts and seeds in those. And putting everything from one category in one section makes it so easy to find things and make sure when you go to the store that you can figure out what you need. So anyway, you'll have to check out that article. I think you'll like it a lot. We have a before and after picture in there. I have organized people's pantries for them in the past. I don't specialize in that anymore, but I have taken some pictures before and after that are really dramatic, and it just makes cooking more fun when your kitchen is organized, for sure. So now we'll make the dressing. Let me just cut up a little bit of red bell pepper. Sometimes I use orange bell pepper, but since I had orange tomatoes this time, I decided to use red bell pepper. That way we make the salad extra flavorful. I mean, colorful. So you could do strips or you could do squares. I think I'll do little squares, dicing these up. Okay, let's see. We'll work on the dressing. I made a dressing similar to this the other day for cooking together. We were making a chickpea, tomato, and arugula salad, and it had a cilantro dressing, but I put lemon in it because lemon goes so well with those other ingredients that I put in the salad. So I thought I would try that, and so just know that if you don't have lime, you can make the same dressing with lemon, and it's just as good. So with cilantro dressing, you can use the stems, as long as they're the tender stems. If they're real tough like this one I see, that was a little darker. You can leave the tough ones out, but if you can kind of break it with your fingers, to break it apart easily. These were a little tougher than usual, I think. Usually if I cut off the bottoms, the rest of them are tender, but these were a little bit more mature. We can grow cilantro here in the fall, in winter and spring, but not in summer. So sometimes I put lime zest in here. I don't have my zester at the moment, but I guess I could put a tiny bit using my peeler. But zesters do a better job because they won't get that white part. I'll just put a little bit of lime zest in there. Optional. Have extra limey flavor. I think I'll do a little more cilantro. I'm going to have about maybe 1 cup packed cilantro. In salads and a lot of dishes that aren't baking, you don't have to follow the recipe exactly, which is one of the nice things about making salads, is you can substitute different things depending on what you have on hand, and you don't have to worry about it not coming out. Let's see. I'm looking for my lime juicer. This looks like a lemon, but it was just in the refrigerator for a while, so it turned a little yellow. And put a couple tablespoons of lime juice. I think I'm gonna have to cut that in half. This doesn't look as fresh as I want, so I'm gonna use this other one. This one looks better inside. Can you see this, Nelson?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have a juicer like this, you can put a fork inside. I'll show you. This is a good trick if you find yourself without a juicer. Put a fork right in there and then just turn the fork a little bit while you squeeze the lime. And did you see how much juice I got out of there? Probably more than I got with the juicer. So that works just as well as a juicer. Tidy up a little bit here. So besides the juice and the cilantro, we're going to add some olive oil, about 1/4 cup. And sometimes I put a little orange juice. Those aren't really in season right now, so I don't have any. But it's great just with lime juice. You could put a little bit of honey or agave. You could put a little water if you need it, just to get it started. And then either some salt or some umeboshi vinegar if you have that. Be a nice touch. So I've just got lime juice, olive oil, salt. I put a little pepper, a little water, and I think that's it. I'm going to blend this. Be right back. If you want to keep going with this and make it super smooth, you can keep blending it. I'm okay with it being a little bit chunky like this. So mine got a little bit watery because I added water to it, but it's okay, it's just a little thinner. And it's really delicious. I've seen this same cilantro lime recipe where they add the honey and then they also add chipotle peppers in adobo sauce. And that is a really nice flavoring. I didn't have any of those today to show you that, but you might want to make a note. But that gives it kind of like that chili lime, honey chili lime flavor, which is so delicious. But we will get sweetness in our salad from these super sweet tomatoes and the corn, as well as the bell pepper. So now you have a couple of options for finishing the salad. Either you can toss the greens in the dressing first, which is what I often like to do. I'm just kind of taking some of the excess water off of them. So either you could dress the greens first, or you can assemble the salad and let everybody put their own dressing on. I think I'm going to do that today because I might be 30 minutes or so before I have the chance to eat this, so I don't want it to get too soggy, and that is something to keep in mind. If you're going to serve it right away, then you can toss some of the dressing in with the greens, and that's really nice because then the greens are evenly coated with the dressing. That's the benefit of doing that. But I'm just going to layer the ingredients. Could you help me with this part, Izzy? Mm-hmm. Izzy does such a nice job with plating and presentation, what we used to call it at the culinary school. Izzy gets an A++ in plating and presentation. If you need a spoon, we've got plenty of them here. What else? These out of the way here. Nice. Have the hiccups. With the spoon. Looks delicious. And tomatoes?
Yeah. Yeah. Oops.
It's also good with a little goat cheese or Mexican fried cheese.
Yeah, so you can add something like cotija cheese, that very crumbly Mexican cheese. That would be nice on here. And then lastly, some pepitas. You want to add those? We'll both do this. Hopefully I didn't forget anything. I didn't look at the recipe this morning because it was kind of in my head what we were doing, but if I did forget something, you can just add it to yours. Okay. So let's see if there's anything else I wanted to tell you about today. I think I'm just interested in what everybody else is doing because we've been here cooking by ourselves, but we're trying to find out what other people are up to in their own kitchens, so let us know. Thank you for all of you that have been keeping in touch and sending pictures and asking questions. It really does keep us going.
Can you hold that up like over the edge of the camera?
Yeah.
Just up and up a little bit.
Yeah. So enjoy your salad. It's going to be so delicious with this cilantro lime dressing. And really make it your own. If you have some ingredient at home on hand that you want to add to it, don't be shy. I think your salad's going to be delicious. So thank you so much for joining us today. And we'll be here next Wednesday, hopefully on Monday morning. I'll put a recipe and an ingredient list so that you can join in or make it later in the day. So take care. Have a great week.